Sometimes, yeah. I mean, a lot of people just tell me to like stay out of Black people's business, but in the end, it's just court cases. And one thing I want to do going into 2024 is not pay nearly as much attention to them as I did. Like,
It's crazy. There's a lot of stories about like I saw a video of some guy like who used to work for the CIA, and he said that they were like selling the drugs in LA. And he was telling like someone in the LAPD, and they were like, "Oh, you should just call the LAPD or your local police officer." You know, like they don't do anything. And they say that a lot of the people who work with the child social services, like a lot of them are involved in like the sex trafficking of kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot,
like child trafficking. I don't know about sex, like just trafficking children.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that, but I think a lot of that, the rumors on that kind of, you know, may or may not be true. But I try to focus on like what we can actually prove in like the actual cases, because I mean there's so much to speculate about, but there's also just so much to talk about like factually. Like if you just look into all the cases the feds are doing, like all the investigations.
What else? What else is there?
There was the USC bribery scheme involving the LA city councilman. He was actually on the county board of supervisors, but he got caught up in a bribery scheme involving the dean of the School of Social Services at USC, where Mark Ridley Thomas's son was in the state legislature, and this was when the Me Too movement was going on, and when it was really going on, when like everybody was being ousted from their jobs and things like that. And his son was actually under investigation for a couple sexual harassment claims in the legislature. So was resigning from the legislature. And Mark Ridley Thomas was like such a prominent politician in LA that, you know, to kind of save face for him and for his son, they needed like a good public landing spot for his son, because they didn't want to just tell the public like, hey, my son's resigning because he doesn't want all these sexual harassment allegations to come out. So Mark Ridley Thomas arranged for his son to get instructorship or some kind of professor job at USC, and he would go to this graduate school program at USC and also start this nonprofit like think tank in LA that would like look at policy decisions and things like that. So to get him into USC, he actually leaned on the dean of the School of Social Services and was like, hey, the LA County is coming up with a contract for this telehealth network. It's like mental health counseling services offered through LA County. But if they do a partnership with the USC School of Social Services, where like students in the School of Social Services are like working the telemarketing or not the telemarketing, but the telehealth counseling center. It's like a big benefit to the school to get that. Like the dean wanted the money from the program. So she agreed to like kind of bend the rules and do some favors for Mark Ridley Thomas's son. And the feds found out all about it, and they all got busted for bribery. Like the dean was actually, she was 84 and she pleaded guilty to bribery.
Oh, wow.
And she avoided a prison sentence, but the politician who was in the position where he was like leaning on her, he went to trial, which is the trial I covered, and he ended up being convicted and got like 3.5 years in prison. But he's actually appealing his conviction. So
do you know anything about Blueface's case?
Yeah, you know, Blueface has that case in Vegas, right? Blueface has been coming into my algorithm more and more. I'm like, he doesn't have like a current active case in LA, but he's got, I saw the Salt Lake City police were investigating his concert in Salt Lake, where some girl was like, they got her up on stage, and then there's a video of her being pushed down. But then I saw that supposedly the girl that happened to is saying it was no big deal. So if she doesn't cooperate, I kind of doubt he's going to get charged. But I definitely hear a lot about him from people who are like complaining about him and that kind of thing. But yeah,
I see a lot of, he posts like, he talks to his children kind of crazy. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, I don't know, but you're not really on Instagram, but like, I don't know. It's like, I'm surprised that social services or like, you know, like just nobody's picked up a case against him. Cause like his kids' moms, they both said that he hit them on camera. Yeah. And he also like said some weird stuff to his own children. And I'm surprised that the authorities have not like gotten involved in that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, somebody at least at CPS is like paying attention to what he's doing, like, because I've seen the same videos, but I mean, part of it is just, you feel really bad for the kids who have their childhoods displayed like that.
I feel really bad for his kids.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart actually watching it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gross. And the glorification of him too,
Yeah. What about Keke Palmer?
I haven't paid that much attention to that one. I know if there was a hearing on her restraining order request, I was going to cover it, but I guess that got canceled because I'm not even sure what they were doing. But sometimes that stuff
got canceled?
No, the restraining order hearing that they were going to have, the hearing on her restraining order petition.
Do you get a lot of backlash for being white in this sector?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, a lot of people just tell me to like stay out of black people's business, but in the end, it's just court cases that I'm covering,
Do you take it to heart? Like, how do you feel about it?
I just ignore it. I mean, especially right now, like Twitter is just so noisy and like all my replies, they're just kind of unmanageable. So I'm kind of at the point, like, even for my own mental health, it's like, don't even look at them, like it's just way too much. And trying to like respond to all those people, it's just, if people are fighting in there, just let them fight. And it used to be like, if people got too nasty or if I saw something that was like really nasty, I would block them. But now I almost feel like that's more attention than they need, It's like, if the replies come in so fast that, I mean, if you see something you don't like, it's like if you just refresh, it's gone and you can't even find it again. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of heard this when I got all the attention from Tory Lanez. It's like the haters are always going to be there, It's like anytime you have big numbers like that, like you're going to have people in the replies like saying not nice things, and it's just a matter of like, how do you respond to it? Like the best sentence that I saw, or way to describe it, was the haters are just the cardboard at the bottom of the cake. And one thing I want to do going into 2024 is not pay nearly as much attention to them as I did like over the last year. Like all the attention and replies that I'm giving on Twitter need to be to the fans and to the people who are being positive and who are like, I love you,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I get a lot of hate sometimes in my comments, and sometimes I just want to respond and tell them to like, jump off a cliff. But then it's like people that show me loves, like some, I feel like I should reply to them more.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody once told me their rule of thumb is for every hater they reply to 5 fans. And I think that's a good, like, if you're going to reply to any of the haters, you have to balance it out with more replies to the fans. And just like, why even worry about them,
What about Governor Newsom?
I guess, I've been impressed with his debates on Fox News. I mean, just the fact that he goes on Fox News and is like willing to put himself out there, and I think he handles himself pretty well in those debates. I mean,
you don't think he's corrupt?
Oh, I mean, look, in the end, all those people who are like up at that kind of level have, I mean, the level of wealth and the level of power that they deal with, but at least policy wise and frankly just person wise, I feel like Newsom is has a good showing, and it's really obvious he's gearing up to go for the Democratic nomination in 2028, and it seems like he's positioning himself
as governor
well to do it. Yeah, oh yeah, he's gonna go.
How long can you be governor for? No, we can't have him anymore. How long can someone be a governor for?
I don't know. I mean, what the term limits are on that, I'd have to look it up.
Oh, actually, I want to know about their case. Maybe
Maybe.
Brad and Angelina. Is it sealed?
Probably not. What is that? Their is it the case over the winery?
I mean, I don't know. They said that Brad Pitt is like a drunk and he's abusive and he abused the kids and he abused her. Did you see anything about that?
It's over. It was that came out. The plane trip where the description of what happened in that plane trip that came out in a court document related to an argument over a winery that they own or something.
Yeah, but do you know the details of
No, I haven't gotten into that because I'm still trying to like kind of find a balance between the celebrity cases and then just and actually covering cases? Like legal affairs. Yeah, I don't want to just cover like every like little celebrity thing that happens. It has to be like something like big in court or something. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. What else is going on?
Gosh, kind of the big stuff is Kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Megan the Reporter brand. I mean, the need to kind of brand and market myself and kind of build up my website and my YouTube channel. I mean, like you were saying, I don't have enough presence on Instagram.
How many subscribers do you have on YouTube?
7,500. Trying to get those numbers up.
It's hard. It is.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Being more
subscribe
consistent.
To what's your channel? Subscribe to our channel.
It's just Megan 𝐄NIF, MEGHANNCUNIFF. But I'm looking to partner with some production companies or something to kind of professionalize my videos and maybe do like a weekly show, like a weekly legal affairs and trials show, where it's just me talking about all the different stuff that I've covered over the years.
Yeah, you can. You just need like a good editor,
Yeah. So I'm trying to, I think I'm going to launch like a capital campaign, like get a Kickstarter campaign going in the next few months to like really try to get the support needed to like professionalize my equipment, like, get the cameras and lighting and everything, and kind of build like a studio in my office where I can.
We're all looking for investors.
Yes.
We're all looking for capital.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I've kind of just heard from just people online that they would support something like that. So It's just a matter of like getting it organized and kind of getting it off the ground. But kind of the big thing I want to do is I'm thinking about moving from, I've got my website right now operating through Substack, but I'm thinking about moving over to a different platform like Ghost. Seems like a good web hosting platform, and something that would allow me to host Google AdSense on there and get some advertising revenue. Because I get so many organic hits just through like Google search to the website that don't necessarily transfer to paid subscribers, but could be advertising revenue, anything to build like a sustainable operation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned for Meg the Reporter's branding website.
Yes, sell some merchandise, maybe some.
Do you have a lot of fans?
Seems like it. I mean, I seem to get good response on there from people who want to stick around.
What's your like fan demographic? Is it younger? Is it older?
I think it's younger. It's more like when I look at the analytics and things like that, like 18 to 34 or like 34 to 45 range, but the younger range.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are you working on? Did you hear that Kevin Hart is suing Tasha K?
Oh, another lawsuit against her.
Yeah.
I think there's a big project to look at the rise of defamation law in social media, and kind of the YouTubers who've been hit with defamation cases, and like what it says about the future of like information and things like that. But no, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, before we started, I saw that he's suing her for she interviewed his assistant, and his assistant said like, I don't know, that he got like some women pregnant. I don't really know. I didn't really watch it, but I saw like little clips of that. And he said that she tried to extort him for $250,000, and she told him she wouldn't post it if he paid her, and he didn't want to pay her, so she posted the interview, and now he's suing her.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting cases like that I'd like.
Do you think there's a lot of extortion going on in LA, like with the celebrities?
I'm not so sure about the celebrities, but I know just in like public office, like municipal politics and LA City Hall. I mean, the public corruption unit at the U.S. Attorney's Office has said that corruption is a way of life in LA, just for developers getting things done, getting project approvals from planning commissions, city councils, that kind of thing. And there's so many different jurisdictions in LA County that I don't think people are aware of. But there's so many different cities that have a tax base to work with that I think there's a lot of corruption going on. But Hollywood is like a whole nother world, and the idea that there isn't corruption there. I mean, watch the Harvey Weinstein trial to kind of show everything that went on there.
You watched it?
Yeah, there at least is one in California.
What did you think of, just real quick, the Johnny Depp thing? What did you think about that?
Honestly, I thought it was too overhyped, and like there was just kind of like this cult following to it online that kind of got out of control.
Because
like
he was horrible to her too.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did he like they both should have lost. I felt like,
and they kind of did, although the
she had to
verdict
pay
was
him.
the verdict was solely against her, and the one that was against him was really for something that like a manager had done or something like. I mean the judgment, but I just think the televising of those trials and the way people kind of turn it into entertainment and like all the memes that happen and stuff. I mean, as a reporter, like I want to support trials being televised, but I also see it as just being misused, and people aren't using it as like an educational thing about the court system. They're just using it as an entertainment thing.
Right. But do you feel like the court is fair?
It depends. I mean, it depends on what you're looking at, but I think overall the jury system in the United States, I mean, it's coveted around the world. Like I know judges, like I know a judge down in Orange County who does regular seminars like in foreign countries for foreign countries that are trying, early in democracy and trying to get their court system going. He'll do seminars on the American jury system and jury trials and how the system is. I mean, it really is like the envy of the rest of the world. Is it perfect? No. But I think a lot of people in other countries who are developing court systems, like look at the United States and the jury system as like the way to do it. You don't have, it's not like a dictatorship.
Like it's more fair over here than it is in other countries.
I think that's what some people think.
Yeah. Because look what happened to like Andrew Tate. Like in Romania, he just got thrown in jail for 6 months. Like that probably wouldn't happen here, right?
I don't know. I'd have to know a little bit more about the case, but
yeah,
that's another one that I'm following. DJ Envy at the Breakfast Club. That was one where I felt like I kind of got like recruited into covering it from people online, like asking me, just straight up DMing me if I could cover it. Like same with the Jonathan Majors trial, because that was over in New York, and I didn't feel like, I mean, I didn't go to New York for the trial, but I had so many people asking me to cover it because they didn't feel like they could get any kind of like straight take on what the case was. So, I try to respond to those people like, there's a, give them what they want kind of thing.
Yeah. Trying to save the world one day at a time, right?
Yeah. See what I can do.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate having you.
Thanks for having me.
It was really fun. Very informative.
Yes.
A lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.